So if we wanted to send information to an individual anywhere on the planet, what we would take is a sample of their DNA or a digital photo that's taken in nice bright sunlight. And we would put that into the machine, and people would say, well, how can you use, they understand that DNA carries information. So we could lock on to that wherever you are on the planet. We put a little blood inside a glassine envelope, slip it inside the input plate, and off you go. And you can actually send codes directly to that individual no matter where they are. So that's one thing that can be done. Now, number two, with the photo, you'd say, well, how does the photo work? Well, as light strikes your body, it goes inside it goes all the way into the DNA. And if you look at DNA, that double helix, that's actually a scalar wave antenna. And basically what happens is when it gets struck by light, it puts out biophotons, or light. And so what happens is you generate photonic energy all day long. You're putting it off all the time. And so that goes into the camera, goes into that picture, it stores as data, and we can take that data and we can lock onto that no matter where you are as well. And we can put that into the system, and we can actually set up a program to send tunings or these codes to you and do it actively. And there's two ways to send codes, active and passive. Passive is where you take a hologram or maybe a chunk of crystal, and you use your SE-5 with its output cable, which is a light-pulsed cable, and you drive the codes into that hologram or into those crystals. And this is an overnight process. It takes many hours to load it up. Then you take that hologram, and you can paste it on your belt buckle, put it on an amulet and wear it, whatever you want to do. As long as it's within your auric field, or the field that surrounds your body will absorb whatever codes are in there that it needs to balance itself. And your body will get those codes that it has corrupted as you walk through, the world in the day and you get exposed to toxins and stressors. Those codes tend to get out of balance. And so what the hologram can do is help you stay in balance longer. But that's a passive method of doing it. And all that can do is basically help you to stay balanced a little longer than you normally would if you've already been balanced using a scalar wave machine. Now, the machine itself, if you were to balance somebody with that, this is active, because inside the machine is a generator, a scalar wave amplifier, and it takes the codes and it very robustly sends them out to your field, and it very robustly puts them into the field. So you get balanced much quicker and more thoroughly. So let's take two separate items. Let's say we were sending the field codes for the information for vitamin B. Now that's something very positive for your body and your health, and we would send the information, not vitamin B, but the information for those field codes out to the body. Okay, that's one thing. And you'd want that at close to 100% of full balance, right? Because it's a positive thing. Now let's say you're dealing with something like cyanide. Well, that's not something that's very good for your body. You really don't want that, so you'd want that balanced down to 0. So we can also take negative things and balance those down to 0. And so by using an active balancing with the machine, we can actually get you there much quicker and much closer to the goal or the ideal number, whether it be 100 or 0. And then when you wear an amulet or a hologram with the information imprinted on it, it takes a longer time for you to drift off of balance. And it happens no matter what to everyone between 3 and 5 days after you've been balanced. Somewhere along that 3, 5, 7 days, depending on how much stress you're involved in. If you're somebody living on the top of a mountain, clean fresh water, lots of fresh air, the odds of you coming out of balance are very, very low for at least a week. But you're in a city, you're going to be out in 3 to 5 days. or start sliding out of balance. So what we do is we attempt to keep you balanced throughout the month. And I developed something called the Balance Guild, which we actually balance people several times during the month on the same program to keep them at that optimal level. And we do that a lot. That's mainly what we do for people to help them along. Now, that's how the technology works, and the way we get those codes to you is what you really want to know. So the answer is by using a scalar wave. And scalar waves are pretty simple. If you were to take an electromagnetic wave, let's say you've got two separate, let's call them field coils. And we use sacred geometry, let's say a 5-pointed star, 7-pointed star, 12-pointed star, something that's a pattern that's exactly reproduced twice. So you have a positive version and a negative version right next to each other. So one of them you charge up with maybe a positive 3 volts and the other with a negative 3 volts. Well, in math class we learned that if you add 3 to minus 3, you get 0, correct? Well, here's our problem. Maxwell's original equations prove that when you do that with a type of a signal, you get double the gravity. So we're making gravitational waves or longitudinal waves, not transverse waves. And they travel faster than the speed of light. Now, does that make sense? So basically, you put the codes on that wave and we send them to you, no matter where you are.